So you've been doing all the cardio, all the running, burning all the calories, doing spin classes, HIIT classes, YouTube videos. Scale still is not budging. Here's the truth. Cardio alone is not going to get you the fat loss that you're looking for. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what you actually need to do. Cardio is great for your heart. It is great for burning those calories in the moment. It gets you sweaty. Do that I did something feeling. When it comes to fat loss, cardio is like trying to put out a house fire with a water bottle. And I'm going to tell you why. Body adapts faster than you think that it does. The 45-minute run that you used to do that used to burn a hell of a lot of calories really fast, a couple weeks in, your body's gotten way more efficient. It's burning less than it was when you were doing it a couple weeks ago. You're doing more cardio just to get the same result. The worst part of it is, and this is the part that I had to learn and educate myself on, is you are also losing muscle, which you don't want to do. You don't want to lose muscle. You could be burning muscle if you're not fueling yourself right as well. What actually drives fat loss? Fat loss comes down to one thing: a calorie deficit. And I know people don't want to hear it, but it is the truth. And I do a whole video on calorie deficits that you can go watch. It's totally separate from this, but you have to consistently burn more than you're consuming. That's just the basic science of it. Cardio can help during that deficit for sure. I mean, I do cardio still at the end of my strength training exercises, but it's not the most efficient or sustainable way to lose the fat that you're wanting to lose. The real game changers are your nutrition and your metabolism, and that is where strength training comes in. So when I personally shifted away from doing all this cardio, because I kid you not, when I first moved to Puerto Rico, from the time I got here for about a month and a half, I would just wake up every day and I would go run. You guys, I would go run and then I would come back and I would eat like these overnight oats and whatever else. And like for some people that works, the overnight oat thing. For me, I don't think it helped at all. And it didn't hit me until like a month or two into it, and I was like, why is this not working? And it was a vicious cycle. And so it was not until I started strength training that I actually saw results, that I actually saw bodily change. And that is when everything changed. That is when I built the muscle. That is when I started to really lose the fat, the stubborn fat that I was wanting to lose. My metabolism actually increased a little bit. I was able to eat a little bit more and still see results, still see progress while I was doing the strength training. And I talk about this in another video. Strength training doesn't just burn calories while you're doing the strength training. It burns them throughout the rest of the day. So with strength training also, if you're one of those people who like kind of tracks your calorie burned on one of those like watches, I don't like wearing things on my wrist, so like I don't wear those, and I have no idea what calories I'm burning on during my workouts. But I do know from reading and researching that strength training does not burn a ton of calories during the exercise, but the key to strength training is it burns them through the rest of the day, unlike cardio. Cardio is very much like, I got on the treadmill, I burnt X amount of calories, we're done, you know? So again, strength training doesn't just burn calories during, it burns throughout the rest of the day. Why? Why is that, you ask? It changes your entire body composition over time. Why? Why, you ask? Because muscle is metabolically active. So it keeps working after the gym, even after you're done training it. Cardio, once you stop, the burn stops, the calories stop. So I think the question also becomes, should you ditch cardio? And no, I'm not saying that at all. I am not anti-cardio. I still walk every single day. I still am active and moving my body. I still do incline treadmill after my workouts I occasionally love getting on the bike after a leg day. Like I'm a proponent of combining cardio and strength training. Cardio is great for your heart. It's great for your mental health. It's great for recovery. But it is not great as the only tool for fat loss. Period. Period. You are going to feel frustrated and stuck. And I say that from experience. I say that as someone, again, who woke up every single day, went to go run. I think I ran for like 45 minutes. And I would come back, I would eat my breakfast, and then I would still, yes, try and get some steps in and stuff like that. But I was working from home, so it was pretty sedentary until I got my walking pad. But regardless, it was not burning the stubborn. We were not seeing fat loss. We were not even really seeing that scale move that much. We weren't seeing inches come off. We weren't seeing shape take place in my body. I wasn't gaining any muscle. Like it just was not, it was not working out. And so it cannot be the only tool for fat loss. You have to start incorporating strength training if you're wanting to really see some results. And that is my opinion. And I will die on that hill. So here's what has worked out for me personally. And I'd love to hear what has worked for you, because I mean, I do feel like everybody's different, but I do feel like strength training is like, you know what I mean? Fat loss, get your strength training going. Get those weights moving, in my opinion. So I started strength training 4 to 5 times a week. Now my sort of happy number is 5 times a week. I enjoy going to the gym 5 times a week. So there's some people who do 3 to 4 times a week, and I think that's perfectly fine. Great. I love it. I personally love going 5 times a week. So that's just my routine. I aim for 7 to 10,000 steps a day if I can get it. I think it's great to keep moving your body, keep your body in movement. I don't think we were meant to sit all day long personally. So, you know, I do like to get the steps. I'm not fixated on this 10,000 number that everyone seems to be fixated on. And I think that's a marketing scheme in my opinion. And I come from marketing, so I feel like I can say that. I would aim for 7 to 10. That I've seen research around 7 to 10. So anywhere in between there, you're doing great. I was in a consistent calorie deficit. I do calorie deficit and then I'll do maintenance for a little bit. I talk about that in another video. If you're interested in hearing about, you know, how I lost weight sustainably, I'll link it down below for you. But it was in a consistent calorie deficit, maintenance, etc. And that helps a lot with fat loss. You need to be in a calorie deficit. Calorie deficit, strength training. Boom, there you go. That's basically the gist of the video, you know what I'm saying? I also was tracking my food through an app, and then I would weigh the food as well, just because I feel like you don't really know what you're eating until you know what you're eating, and the scale really helps with that. Making sure I'm getting enough protein. You don't really, I feel like the protein maybe caught a phase of like, oh, that's a buzzword, protein, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's obsessed with protein. But quite honestly, protein packs a punch, and protein helps with muscle growth. Protein helps with fat loss. And so if you're not getting the adequate amount of protein, in my opinion, scientifically, you are going to struggle a little bit with some fat loss. So, you know, anyways, I talk about macros in another video. I talk about the TDEE calculator that you may want to look into if you're trying to get on a calorie deficit or if you're trying to figure out maintenance. So I talk about all that. I'll link all that below for you because it's a separate video. But I did track my food. I make sure I get enough protein every single day. And I'm not the type to like try and earn my food through some form of cardio. I don't think that that's how it works. Food is fuel for your body. Cardio should not be a punishment either. Cardio is a way to keep yourself metabolically fit, to keep your heart healthy, to aid in fat loss. Cardio should not be punishment. Should not be punishment. you have got to rewire your brain and deconstruct that thought process a little bit. And I know all too well, growing up, there was this significant cultural pressure on women to just hop on and be cardio bunnies basically, and just kill yourself to death on the cardio machines and sweat to death, and that's how you were, a skinny Victoria's Secret model. And I just think it's the furthest thing from reality. And I have never been, or I haven't been one of those people in the last couple of years where I'm like, oh, I need to do, 45 minutes on the Stairmaster in order to eat an Oreo. What? Listen, you need to fix your thought process on food, in my opinion, if that is how you're looking at that, plus cardio. Cardio is not a punishment. It's not a punishment. Cardio is an aid. Cardio is a tool. Cardio is beneficial for a lot of health reasons, and that is its primary responsibility. It is not a tool for punishment. And so definitely, if you're going through that process, or that thought process, please do some research, do some reading, because it's not what it's supposed to be. And so anyways, I won't spiral on that, but cardio essentially became the supplement to my fat loss. It was not the strategy anymore. My strategy was strength training, calorie deficit, etc. And then on top of that, 20-25 minutes of cardio at the end. It became a supplement. It was not the entire program, it's not the entire strategy, nor do I think it should be, based off of everything else that I've said in this video. So if you have been spinning your wheels with cardio, you're wondering why nothing's changing, why the scale's not moving, etc., then I hope that this was helpful. Try this shift. Try the strength training, try incorporating it as much as you can. Add cardio as supplemental to that. Try a calorie deficit, try tracking your foods. And I have another video on how to get started with strength training, talking about macros and the TDE calculator, all of this. If this is all overwhelming to you and you're a beginner, I have all the resources and all the videos explaining some of this, and I will link them for you. I also have a whole fitness playlist on my channel that you can go and watch or binge or whatever. And so I hope that this was helpful. I definitely would say give it time as well. I think patience is key to fat loss, and I definitely could do a whole other video on the patience that it takes in order to see fat loss, because your body is going to take its time with fat loss. The way that your body operates is it does not want to lose the fat. It kind of goes into survival mode. It's like, what? But it will take a while for it to start relinquishing fat. And also, you can't spot fat reduce. So if you're really wanting your stomach fat to go first, that's not how your body works. Your body is going to pull from fat where it pulls from fat. The first place that my body pulls from fat is my shoulders. My face starts to lose weight, and then my legs a little bit. But my stomach is hard, my back is hard, for fat to go away from there. And it just takes time. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. And so I would say, give it a try. Try strength training, try adding cardio as a supplement as well. Try a calorie deficit, and let me know if that helps. Let me know if that works. And comment down below, share your experience. What have you learned? What have you been through? Do you find that cardio has helped you entirely? And that was the one thing that you did. I'd be curious to hear. Do you do strength training? If so, what is your split? What do you enjoy? Share all of these things so that other people can learn from you as well. Not just me, and not just this video, and not the millions of other videos talking about this, but and if you want to get started with lifting and you don't know where to start and you're a beginner, I have, again, a whole video on how to get started with strength training as a beginner. I talk about the apps that I love. I talk about my program and what has helped with my consistency and my fat loss. And again, if I didn't show it before, I went from this to this within the last year and a half. I've lost like 40 pounds almost, which is insane to think about. So I do know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And these changes that I'm telling you to make, I have also made, and they have made a significant difference in my life, in my workouts, in my physical, mental, emotional, everything, well-being. And so I highly recommend it, highly encourage it. And if you found this video helpful and you want to join along in this journey with us, please subscribe. I would love to have you along. Please like and share with your friends if this was helpful. Obviously, it helps me with the YouTube algorithm, but yeah, I really just want to make videos that are helpful and resourceful for people getting started in strength training, because it is a passion of mine. And so, yeah, welcome. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.